I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I Am Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, cool new RPG titles, and many more cool things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures. Like always, first and foremost, a huge thanks goes to my Patreon supporters. Without your generous and monthly donations, I would not be able to continue creating I Am Gaming Podcast. So thank you all so much for being here and supporting my venture here and for being here month in, month out. So everyone else, please check out my Patreon supporters. Their links are in the description below. And once again, thank you all for supporting me. Now, this episode is episode 216, and it is all about a really cool new RPG fantasy game being developed right here in my home city, my hometown, the beautiful Novi Sad, Serbia, where a new company is developing a really cool game called The Blood Ties. Now, the same company is called Vortech Games, and I was really fortunate to hear their presentation last week at the Novi Sad Academy of Arts, where I also work as an assistant teacher on the game development, more precisely game design course. And a 3-person team came to our faculty, to our establishment, and presented their game, which is called The Blood Ties. And I have to say that I was both incredibly impressed with the presentation itself, but even more so with the game and the concept of the game that is being developed right now. So the game is all about a really simple concept. It is set in a world that is very much like the ancient Roman Empire, with its long history, a lot of special elements, its depth and diversity, but at the same time it has a fantasy element to it that makes it an ideal space for role-playing games. And the team recognized that there is a lot of potential in that narrative and decided to start working on the game itself. The game will function in a manner that is pretty similar to regular RPG games, but at the same time it will have a lot more elements to it, including a diverse, huge space where the same game takes place in terms of that ancient empire, but also in terms of the decisions and consequences that these have when players are making them. All of that sounds really exciting. The way that the company is approaching the development process is also interesting. It's really based on a process of kind of keeping track of the development that is taking place, adapting to any changes, modifying it, and a bunch of communication pathways which ensure that everyone is on the same page. Now, that in the development process is not easy at all and often can take a lot of detours, but it is really great to see that Vortech Games already focuses on the right stuff. And it's incredible to see a game of this size, of this magnitude, of this in-depth content, let's call it like that, being developed here in Novi Sad. So I'm really happy to see it, because it's great news for the Serbian game development industry, it's great news for Novi Sad, and it's great news for everyone who is in any shape or form connected to the game development industry. Right now, the game is still in its really early phase, and there is a lot of work to be done, but already the same process looks to be in a really healthy, in a really advantageous position for future growth and expansion. Right now the team is hoping to have some form on MVP, or let's better call it a vertical slice, ready in the next let's say 12 months or so, and they're working hard on it. So there is a lot of news to be had from Vortech Games and the development and future of the Blood Ties. But right now everything looks incredibly promising. So I would love to tell you all, please check out Vortech Games. I'm going to leave the link for the company, and from there you can find their social media. A lot of content from the Blood Ties is already available on the Vortech Games Instagram and LinkedIn account. give it a look, follow them on social media, and keep in touch with the development, because I'm really hopeful and I really do believe that there is a lot of interesting stuff that will come from Vortech Games in relations to their flagship project, which is the Blood Ties. So a big recommendation for this development process, especially if you're into game development. I think there is a lot of interesting stuff that you'll find on their social media pages, on their website, and once you start following the game, about the Blood Ties as well in the coming weeks and months. There it is. Thanks so much for being on this latest episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. My name is Ivica. If you'd like to support me, you can support me on my Patreon page. Of course, the link is in the description below. You can buy my books on Amazon. You can send me money directly, but cheapest, most effective and easiest way to support me is to simply subscribe to my channel and be here for my new videos. That's all for me. Thanks again for being here. Thanks again for listening. Check out Vortech Games, check out the Blood Ties, and I'll talk to you in precisely 7 days from now. Until then, bye bye.